Assalamualaikum. I bid to my beloved panels. I am Atiyah Syazwani, binti Azman from PIS MP Telsel, June 2017. So today I'll be presenting the effectiveness of Elsa Adjectives song to improve vocabulary adjectives among Year 3 pupils in SK Bukit Guntong. So background of the study, pupils need to have at least the crucial 100 words, Bukit Guntong 2018, and Mufare 2015 mentioned that vocabulary is classified according to the form they attach to. It can be classified into 3 forms, which are lexical meaning, morphological meaning, and syntactic meaning. So these pupils need to have at least 100 words for their foundation of the vocabulary. So in this study, song serves as a good source of pronunciation, intonation, and accent practice, but also as a practice of listening skills and vocabulary. So as I mentioned earlier, the main of the study is on about the development of vocabulary. So the statement of problems, learning vocabulary is difficult for beginner as they need to acquire both form and the meanings of given lexical item, Brezina and Gablazova, 2013. Young learners consider that learning English is tedious because it needs them to memorize the new vocabulary one by one, which is quite hard for them. 2013. So by having songs in the teaching and learning session, it will lead the pupils to have the attractive and attentive learning environment. So the next one is purpose of the study. The aim of the research is to investigate the effectiveness of using the Elsa Adjective song to improve vocabulary adjectives among Year 3 pupils in SK Bukit Guntong. So research objectives are to determine the socio-demographic profile of Year 3 pupils in SK Bukit Guntong. And the second one is to determine the significant improvement mean score of vocabulary within the intervention and control group in Year 3 pupils in SK Bukit Guntong. So in relations of the research objectives, here are the research questions. The first one is, what is the socio-demographic profile of Year 3 pupils in SK Bukit Guntong? And is there any significant improvement mean score of pre-test and post-test among control and experimental group in Year 3 pupils in SK Bukit Guntong? So here are the significance of the study. It is to highlight the effectiveness of using the Elsa Adjective song to improve the vocabulary among Year 3 pupils in SK Bukit Guntong. Another one is teacher needs to use the Elsa Adjective song because Elsa is a famous cartoon character among pupils in Year 3 in SK Bukit Guntong. The researcher chose Elsa because it is famous. Most of the students in SK Bukit Guntong familiar with the Elsa song. Thus, it may stimulate pupils' interest to learn English and able to improve their vocabulary of adjectives. So this is the related past research. Using song in learning is helpful for learners. Carrie Kiss, 2015. The second one is a catchy and simple song or other characteristics that influence pupils to sing the song. The repetitive lyric encourage pupils to memorize the song easily. In the current research, the Elsa song is very easy to be imitated as it is repetitive, and the slow pace of the song helps pupils to memorize the vocabulary in the lyrics easily. Also, the choice of song must be suitable with their age, interest, and also ability. It is to help pupils to have a better understanding based on their level of proficiency. Next, the research design. Quasi-experimental design aims to establish a cause and effect relationship between an independent and dependent variable. And the next one is quasi-experiment design has several types. There are non-equivalent groups design, regression discontinuity, and normal experiments, Coyle and Gracia, 2014. So related to the current research, researchers choose to apply the quasi-experimental design to measure the effectiveness of Elsa Adjective songs. So this one is the population and samples. It involved pupils in SK Bukit Guntong among year 3. It will involve 10 pupils, which one group will be the control group and another one will be joining the experimental group. 5 pupils both groups consist of 5 pupils. And those pupils are chosen by their English teacher based on their examination achievement recently. So the next one is instruments used for data collections. Here is the instruments that the researcher use, which is diagnostic test. Diagnostic test consists of pre-test and post-test. Diagnostic test is a form of assessment that leads researcher to determine pupils' strengths, weaknesses, level of knowledge, and skill prior to instruction. Popham, 2009. Diagnostic test was conducted before and after the implementation of the song, but only experimental group will receive the treatment, while control group will be taught without the treatment. Now I'll explain on the data collection procedures. The first step, I asked for permission to conduct the research in SK Bukit Guntong, asking for permission from their administration, and then prepare for the data instrument, which is diagnostic test. Diagnostic test consists of pre-test and post-test. And then select the samples. As I mentioned earlier, the samples are chosen by the English teacher. And then the data collection on experimental and control groups, and data analysis through SPSS 26.0. And then the last one is report write-up. So this is the data collection procedures. Selecting the samples which involve the year 3 pupils, conducting pre-tests on experimental and control groups, teaching both groups, but only experimental group received the treatment, and then post-test on both groups. So these are the data analysis procedures. The first one is reliability data analysis. Reliability data analysis was conducted among 2 pupils. This one is to measure the reliability of the questions that the researcher has produced. So the second one is provide the instruments where researcher needs to amend some part of the diagnostic test so that the diagnostic test can be implemented in the real data collection later. And then the third one is use the SPSS 26.0 to test the hypothesis and interpreting the data collection. So this is the data findings. As we can see here, the data findings for control groups, I use the PET-T test for control group based on participant score. So we can see here that control groups able to score 0.059, which shows there is no improvement here. 0.059 is high, which to see the effectiveness of this song, we need to score less than 0.05. So here for the control group, it shows that the score is 0.059. So this proves that there is no improvement made here. Compared to the experimental group, as we can see for the significant two-tailed, here the experimental group able to score 0.02, which shows that it is less than 0.05. The results must be less than 0.005, refer to skewness and kurtosis. So here we can see that there is a significant improvement in experimental group. So the null hypotheses are rejected here. It is strongly evident that the Elsa Adjective song is very effective among Year 3 pupils. So the next one is discussion. Songs are effectively used in language learning. Zornick and Tahik, 2016. The experimental group made higher improvement compared to the control group who are not receiving any treatment in the pre-test and post-test. So as we can see in the data findings before, related to the current study, both of the articles supported the results of the effectiveness of Elsa Adjective songs. So pupils have positive attitudes during the teaching session and show improvement after attempting the post-test. So it proves that implementing the Elsa Adjective songs during the learning sessions has positive effects as pupils were exposed to the positive learning environment. So conclusions, there was a significant mean difference of achievement among control and experimental group. This could be seen from the mean gain between the two groups. The second one is implementing Elsa Adjective song significantly managed to improve the pupils' vocabulary adjectives among Year 3 pupils. So as the experimental score 0.02, which is lower than 0.05, as I refer to the skewness and kurtosis, compared to the control group, they achieve 0.0059, which is high and far from the targeted score, which is 0.005. So here we can see that pupils in the experimental group showed a significant improvement. So the recommendation, here are two of the recommendations that a researcher received. The first one is create a music video of the Elsa Adjective song, and then the second one is designing some activities for the song. Create a music video because as I use the Elsa Adjective song only for the audio, which is MP3, not in the MP4 format. So by creating a music video, it will enhance pupils' spirits to learn English so that they can visualize better and understand the lyrics easily. The next one, designing some activities. By designing some activities that appropriate to the song, pupils can enjoy and maximize the learning process. So the implications are people manage to improve the vocabulary. As we can see that pupils able to show the significant improvement among the experimental group. So this shows that the Elsa Adjective songs are very helpful for them to gain new vocabulary without effortlessly, without any threatening. So the next one is give the other teachers opportunity. The opportunity is to use the Elsa Adjective song with the Year 3 pupils in SK Bukit Guntong, so that the Elsa Adjective song can help the other pupils and help teachers to improve, to develop vocabulary among pupils in SK Bukit Guntong. So that's all from me. Thank you for lending me your ears.